In October 6, 1956, I was invited to address a national convention of psychiatrists at the Boston State Hospital. Leo Alexander was the doctor in charge of the program. When I arrived, he asked me to talk on hypnosis. Then said, could you give a very complete demonstration? I said, I can call them members of the audience. And if I do that, they'll all have a feeling they miss them. And both you and I know that they won't miss anything. There'll be a general feeling of dissatisfaction. And they will have learned without knowing they learned. I'd prefer some subject I could invite. He said, well, why don't you go around on boards and find a suitable subject? I went around various wards. I saw a nurse who intrigued me. He was a very responsive nurse. I knew it would be no problem at all, put her in a trance. And so I told Dr. Alexander, I see a nurse, told him her name, and said she volunteered. She knew nothing about hypnosis, never heard a lecture, never saw a demonstration. Otherwise, she's a perfect subject. When I told Dr. Alexander her name, he said, oh, no. That girl has been in psychoanalysis for 2 years. She is a compensated depressive. In case you don't know what that means, is a depressed patient who is compensated for depression and just absorbing herself in her work and doing very well with the absolutely rigid intention of bringing it to a sharp halt. And everybody in the hospital knew that nurse was going to resign from the hospital on October 20th. And she was going to commit suicide. That she had already given away all of her jewelry and a lot of her clothes, keeping just enough to last until October 20th. And this is October the 6th. He said, that girl's going to commit suicide. We all know it. We're all prepared for it. And nobody can talk a girl out of it. And we're all alarmed. She does her work perfectly. I won't hear anything about her plans. And she's dead set on it. I said, well, I promised the girl. The girl promised me. If I refuse to use her, I can be the final rejection of her. And she commit suicide before October 20th. So I don't see any way out of the trap I've got myself into except to use her. And the entire staff, all our friends argued with me, but I couldn't see any way out except by using her. So I gave my lecture. I called on a few of the audience to demonstrate hand levitation or anesthesia or some minor thing. And then I called Anne. I told Anne where to sit in the auditorium. I called her and stand up. She stood up and I said, now Anne, walk up to the stage and come all the way to me Don't walk too fast. Don't walk too slowly. And with each step, go a little way into the trance so that when you get all the way up to me, you'll be in a deep trance. And that's your walk with a measured step all the way up. When she arrives on the stage and he meets me, her eyes are open, and she was in a very deep, deep trance. And I said, "Where are you?" She said, "Here." I said, "Where is here?" He said, "With you." Is there anybody else around? No. Where are you? Here with you. Not out there, nothing. There, nothing. And total negative hallucination for all our surroundings. I demonstrated what's in her. She was already demonstrating negative hallucinations. And then I said to her, "You know, Anne, there's such a thing as time distortion in hypnosis. And would you like to know what time distortion is?" She's interested. And I said, "A minute can seem like an hour, or hours can seem like just a few minutes. You can expand time. You can contract time. You know, when you drop a medicine in the eye of a child, the child, he waits and waits and waits and waits and waits until just a second or two. To the child, he was waiting. And you would have friends come and visit you hadn't seen for a long time, and stay all afternoon. And at 6 o'clock, you all say, "What happened to the day?" The whole day has disappeared so rapidly. You expand time, you contract time. So I gave her a few lessons in time distortion. And then I suggested that we go to the Boston Arboretum. She promptly hallucinated us in Boston Arboretum. I pointed to the annuals that were dying, and how they would be replanted next spring. Perennials, they were dying too, and they would come to life again next spring, all by themselves. I pointed to the leaves that were changing color. It's October. And New England is a very nice place to see the changing color of leaves. And I pointed out various shrubs, bushes, vines, and trees. Discussed their flowering, and development of seed and fruit, and how many plants distribute their seeds in various ways. Dandelion by having down, the wind takes a seed and carries it. The seeds are eaten by birds, not digested, but they're spread around. And I had a very interesting trip to the Arboretum. You went rather rapid time because I had Anne enlarging mentally on everything I said. I didn't have to say very much. And the audience could hear me talking about the Arboretum. And then I suggested we go to the Boston Zoo. I told her it was a baby kangaroo. She'd never seen one. Oh, she hallucinated being at the zoo. We looked at baby kangaroo, the adult ones, lions, their cubs, and tigers and their cubs, and wolves and their whelps, and the elephants and the monkeys and so on, bears. And went to the aviary and looked at the birds. I spoke about migration of birds. Our tern born in the Arctic hatched out one summer in the Arctic. And the right time comes, it flies 10,000 miles to the tip of South America. It doesn't have a compass, it has a college education. It finds its way anyway. I spoke about the wonders of living creatures. And then went back to the hospital. I gave her a positive view of the audience. I let various members of the hospital staff talk to her and demonstrate rapport. He talked to them, and not as a nurse, but as an equal. He's a very lovely subject. And then I suggested Anne, hospital is boring. Let's walk down to Boston Beach. Spoke about beach having been there long before the white men, enjoyed by the Indians, countless generations of Indians. Then countless generations of whites, pale faces, who had enjoyed the beach. And Boston present, very lovely beach, being enjoyed by the current generation. Yet that beach would remain there permanent for future generations. And I had a look at the ocean as it was smooth, small waves on it, huge waves. He talks about the inhabitants of the ocean, the migrations of the green turtle, of whales, of salmon, and there are mysterious ways of finding home in some river, the salmon, the eels, the hatching on the land, go down the river, and nobody knows where they go. And eventually they return to the land to lay their eggs. Same with salmon. Same with green turtle. And spoke out all the mystery of the ocean. How mysterious it was. You had to watch the tide go out and come back in. I see a violent storm on the ocean, and we wandered back to the hospital and did a few more things. And I thanked her very profusely in the trance state, and I awakened her and thanked her for her services. She was obviously surprised. She thought she just arrived on the platform, had total amnesia, and dismissed her. She went back to the board to complete the day's work. And the audience discussed her performance with me, asking a lot of questions. Next day, Anne did not come to work, alarmed her friends. Next day, she didn't show up for work. Went to her apartment, couldn't find any traces of her uniform. Just a few clothes she had kept. She was an orphan, had no siblings. The police were called in to missing person. Police could find no trace of her body. A year later, when I lectured in Boston, Dr. Alexander and I were very unpopular. Nothing had been heard from Anne. 5 years later, everybody had forgotten Anne, except Dr. Alexander and me. Still no traces. 10 years later, no traces. 15 years later, no traces. And 16 years later, on an afternoon, I got a long-distance call from Florida. A woman's voice said, "You probably will not remember me. My name is Anne. I was a nurse you used as a subject at Boston State Hospital in 1956. I was thinking today you might like to know what had happened to me." And told her, very interesting. Upon leaving work, she went to a naval recruiting station. And she demanded immediate induction into the Navy and all her credentials. The Navy took her in, served a couple of enlistments, and then she was discharged in Florida, got a job in the hospital there, met a retired Air Force officer, married him, had 5 children. And I was doing therapy the whole time, and nobody knew it. I was discussing life, various forms of life, beauty of life. Everybody thought I was lecturing hypnosis and demonstrating hypnosis, and didn't know I was doing any therapy either. Just being a good subject. I knew what I was doing, nobody else did. Therapy can be done, and your patient makes their own interpretation, places their own value about what you say, and they apply it to themselves any way they wish.
Si te ha gustado este video, dale un me gusta y compártelo con tus conocidos. Si quieres que te ayude con tus problemas, escribe a mi email drbonomi@gmail.com.